Hi, my name's Helen and this is my channel, HelenMaryJo. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're returning, thank you. And if you're a hell spell, hello. Weather forecast, weather update. It's a horrible day today, but there we are. You take some, you win some and you lose some. So today's video is not what I had planned because Marks and Spencer's have done it again. I just don't know what's going on with them at the moment. I really don't. And it is quite funny because a lot of other influencers, or well, a few other influencers that I would say sort of do similar stuff to me, have worked directly with Marks and Spencer and collaborated with them. And they haven't approached me, but I think it's probably because I keep having such a negative experience. But then on the flip side, I think, well, they could use that to their advantage, couldn't they? And they could kind of show me a perfect scenario. So I won't kind of say too much about one element of it right now, but I had done a huge order and it got lost. But that was that. And then I'd placed another order and it came and it was no good. So I'll be showing you that in the next video that comes along. It was only a few bits. And, you know, every single item now in Marks and Spencer's has a unique identification number, the same as Next does. I'm not sure if all the stores are doing that now, but I know for a fact that Next and Marks and Spencer's both do that. And so in Next, they just scan that item and they know when it was bought, who it was sold to, how they paid for it. They know everything. And so you don't need any paperwork or anything else. So I go into Marks and Spencer's and I put the 4 items down on the till point. And I won't go on too much because it's a bit boring. But one was a pair of mules that I didn't bother showing you because they didn't work for me at all. And the second order was 3 dresses. So I put the mules down and the young lady refunded those, no problem. And then she put the next 3 items down and she said, oh no, they're invalid. I said, what do you mean they're invalid? She said, they're invalid. I said, well, what does that mean? So she said, I can't give you your money back. I can only give you a credit note. And I said, what? Like, they're the 3 items. And here's my order and my confirmation of my order on my account and everything else. And she said, no, they can't be refunded to you in monetary, you know, value. You've got to have credit. I said, no. I said, I'd like my money back, please. So she went and got somebody else more senior. And meantime, she said to me, this is the funny bit. She said, is your name Monica Mules? And I said, no. And I wasn't really thinking. Anyway, another shop assistant came over to help me. And then I looked at the order. And the sandals that I had tried that were no good were called Monica Mules. And she thought that was my name, Monica Mules. So I said, oh, I'm not Monica Mules, by the way. That was Monica Mules that I just got refunded. And she said, oh no, I've just thrown that receipt away. And she had to go down in the box of screwed up receipts and find, I mean, honestly, you couldn't make it up, could you? So then the next lady put it through and she said, no, it hasn't been dispatched yet. So I said, yeah, it has, it's here. Anyway, then a manager came along and she said, well, it's showing that isn't dispatched. So I said, well, I've got it. So it is dispatched. Here it is, blah, blah, blah. And she rang somebody else. And, you know, as usual, I was in a hurry to do something else and eventually said, oh, just refund her. Just refund the lady. Sorry to keep you waiting. It's like, oh, good Lord above. How could something so straightforward be so complicated? Anyway, enough about that stuff. It just can be very frustrating. So I've got a few little pieces to show you today. Probably 3 of the 9 things that I ordered, 4 of the 9 things that I ordered. So I'll share those with you. This is a chatty video more than a haul. So if that's not your thing, either fast forward as quickly as you can, or give it up as a bad job. So yeah, as you can see, I've got my tracksuit on today because it really is quite chilly. Now, what did I want to show you? Oh yes, I wanted to mention these again. Now, I showed you before, I mentioned before that I'd started taking these magnesium tablets, and I must have taken them now. Well, I should have looked this up before I came. I mean, there was 180 in here. I've probably been taking these for about 3 months now, and as I have said before, I am not in any way, shape or form advocating this as a medical recommendation. I'm just telling you what's happened to me, and I have not had an episode of IBS since I started taking these. Now that has never, this can't be a coincidence, because I've never gone 3 months, must be 3 months, never gone 3 months without having an episode. I call it a stomach. My family, if I say I've got a stomach, they know what that means. And I still am very wary, of course I am. I don't want to get caught out. But things like having an ice cream on the beach, I would never have done that, because an ice cream, not always, but would often be a trigger for me to have a stomach. And the last place you want that is on a beach. Similarly, if we take the boat, we've got this boat, it's nothing special, but obviously you don't want to get caught short on a boat. It's happened to me once. I never want that to happen again. It was absolutely mortifying. So I mean, they do say this is like a complex mix of magnesium. So I know some people have said, oh, well, this magnesium does this, that, and the other. But all I'm going to say is that I started taking these to help me sleep. My sleep, it has improved a bit, but that hasn't been the main beneficiary for me. It's definitely been the stomach. I can't believe it. So I just wanted to mention that again, because IBS is a curse. It really, really is. So that was that. The second thing that I've got to get tissue. Sorry, hold on a second. I don't know, it always happens to me. The other thing I wanted to show you was, I know this is really kind of quite boring, but when you get 20% off, I always stock up on this. And this is Marks and Spencer Fragrance Society hand wash refill. And this smells really nice. And it also, it's so lovely. This one is citrus. And it helps actually, it kind of scents the bathroom as well. This one is lime, grapefruit and mandarin. And again, I wish we had smelly vision. I can't remember what that was. I will link it down below. But it does make, I use my White Company soap and hand cream bottles on the side, but they haven't had White Company in them for about 3 years, I think, because it's so expensive. So I just top it up with this, and nobody really worries, but they're nice glass bottles on the sink. So yes, I use those. So what else was I going to show you? I've got one dress and 2 tops. As I say, it's disappointing because half of what was ordered the first time around was out of stock after they'd lost my order, which is frustrating. Anyone would agree with that, wouldn't they? So I will get on with that. There was something else I was going to tell you, but I just had to kind of ask the person involved whether they minded me speaking about it, and they haven't replied to my message yet. So depending on what they say will depend what I say, because obviously I have to be respectful of people. Not everybody is as open a book as I am. I've always been like that. I'm an open book. what can I say? I'm honest, and I don't see the point really in keeping secrets. So I will show you what I have bought, what I got successfully from M&S. I hope it's successful, and we'll go from there. And I kind of, if they come back to me in the meantime, then I will just share that with you. It's nothing major, but you know, like I say, I want to get permission before I say anything. So bear with. The first thing I'm showing you is this little cardigan from M&S, well, bomber jacket cardigan. And it's really frustrating because I ordered this in medium, in large, and gold in medium and large. And the only one that I got was the silver in medium. Now, the reason I got the medium, which is probably more like a 14 and I'm probably more like a 16, is that I thought over a dress, it might be kind of quite neat. You know, if you had a sleeveless dress, it would sit quite neatly, but I think I would prefer the gold. It's really lovely, and obviously they've sold out really quickly, so I'm not the only one that thinks that. It's kind of got this woven, it's viscose and polyester, but it is really nice, and it looks nice with the silver jewellery. I've just kept my tracksuit bottoms on, so you can see it just sits on the waist, and I had a vest top on, so I've just kept that on underneath. This is quite neat. I might find it in a store. I think I'm going out shopping tomorrow, so if I do, I will take this with me, because I know that if you know, they'll respect the reduced price if I can get it in the large. I think a large, I don't know, I think a large would be better, but equally, if you wanted to wear it open, there's Dolly. She's enjoying bringing the wet footprints into the house. I don't know. I might try it on over a dress later and see, because I don't want to make a boo-boo and get the wrong one. It's nice, isn't it? I thought it's kind of quite, because it's a relaxed style, casual style, it would look nice with just jeans and a t-shirt. But if you're wearing it over a dress of an evening, it would, you know, elevate that look as well, or like black jeans and a black t-shirt. I think it's really, really nice. Did I say it was £35? So I got £7 off that, so that made it £28, which is very good, I think. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I will definitely, if I can change it up, or, you know, have a look at the bigger size and or get it in the gold, then I will. Now, this top I bought in an 18, and it was £19.50, and it is viscose and elastane. It's quite fitted, which is why I bought it in the 18. And I was intrigued, because looking at it on the website, it wasn't clear how far over this was. You know, personally, I think they should pay a bit more attention on the photographs to kind of illustrate the garment more than kind of the model doing funky poses. And you know, it really to me looked like it was much more kind of like this on the website, but I mean, it isn't. It's actually quite high, but I do like this asymmetric look. I think it makes it interesting. It's very much, oh, here she goes, very much just a t-shirt material. It's nothing special, but it's got a 3/4 sleeve, and it's quite fitted, as you can see. You know, it's nothing to like or dislike. It doesn't feel particularly high quality, that's all I would say, but it's quite a useful top if you want something, you know, maybe you've got some black trousers, or just with jeans again. It just changes it up a bit, stops it just being bog standard normal, and it kind of covers everything, doesn't it? But gives you that extra. I'm just going to shut the door so that we can't hear Dolly. There must be someone outside, honestly. So yeah, £19.50. Obviously, I got the 20% off, which brings it down to quite a reasonable price, but that's all it's really worth, in my humble opinion. But a bit different. You pays your money, it takes your choice. So yeah, now the next thing, the top. is a bikini top, so I'll just see what that's like. You might see it, you might not. So this final dress, white dress from Marks and Spencer's, is pure linen and it's £55, but obviously I got the 20% off, so that would have been £11 off, which brings it down to, you know, a reasonable price for a linen dress. Now I love this kind of inset lace work here. I think it's lovely, but that is all the detail on it. But it's very, I think it's very smart. Long sleeves with a nice deep cuff and just this self-tie belt. I think it would look much nicer with a leather belt. No pockets, which I think are that price, but then again you'd see them because it is quite see-through. I have put a slip on with it, but it's a little bit longer than the split. So I've just put a few people have asked about these. These are my Mandarin leather sandals. They're incredibly comfortable. Can walk miles in these. So that's just, you know, I think I do them still, but I got this in an 18 regular, and the fit is perfect, I think, because especially when you've got a button through, you don't want it to be too snug around the hips, because when you sit down it'll just tear the buttons off. So it does look very nice and fresh, doesn't it? You will see there's a bit of a theme with me and white dresses at the moment, and there is a reason for that, which I will be telling you very soon. I'm not getting married. So I'm just going to see if my friend has replied, so that I can just share that with you. But just bear with me a second while I have a look at my messages. So I heard back from my friends, and they're happy for me to talk about that. So I told you I had friends coming to stay for the weekend, and the friends were actually Corinne and Mounir. Now, people who've watched the channel for a long time will know that I went to school with Corinne. She was very, very good friends with my sister, like they were in the same class, but obviously when you've known somebody for how many years? Oh, good Lord. 50 years? 50 years? 60? 50 years? Yeah, about 50 years. Ridiculous, I can't believe it. Half a century. Wow. You know, she's friends with all of us. She's family, actually. And Mounir is her husband. And between them, they run the jewellers. Mounir, where all of my jewellery is from. And I'll just mention it because Helen 10, or is it HMJ 10? I'll put it in the description box, but it gets you 10% discount. A lot of people forget to put that on, and Corinne very, very kindly, if she can trace it back that they've come through me, then she'll come back to you and give you the discount. So they're very dear friends, and Corinne had a bereavement earlier this year, and naturally very upset, and that sort of triggered me to say, come down and see us, you know, come down and stay for a couple of days or a week, whatever you want to do, really. So they came down on Friday. They live in London. Came down on Friday, went home yesterday, and we had a really lovely weekend. We were so lucky with the weather. And Mounir did bring me some new jewellery, and I will be showing you that. And what I had to wait and get permission for is to tell you that Mounir is actually disabled. He had polio as a young child, and he was one of the very last people to ever get polio. And so they are now finding out a lot of things that they didn't know about post-polio syndrome, but equally lots and lots of doctors don't know anything about polio. So he has quite a challenge there. And obviously when you get older, as we all know, all of our aches and pains and kind of physical problems just get worse with age. But he is remarkable, I will say that. We went out on the boat yesterday, and obviously that's a challenge. That's a challenge for me, getting on and off the boat. I'm always quite nervous. And Mounir managed it. I mean, it was just marvellous, really. It was really, really lovely. And we pootled over to the Isle of Wight and we managed to see Mum, because obviously Corinne has known my mum since she was a little girl. Not my mum was a little girl, since Corinne was a little girl. And so it was just simply a lovely, lovely weekend. And they are dear friends, and I was so happy to be able to accommodate them in our home. They they'd met Katie and Chris before, obviously, but you know, they got to know the grandchildren a little bit, and they drove the boat and everything. So it was really, really good fun. So, but what it does show you is how flipping lucky we are, those of us that don't have a disability at the moment. We're so lucky, you know, because when you see the challenge of things for somebody with that, in that situation, it reminds you to be grateful every day for what you have. So I just wanted to kind of tag that on the end and give you a little taster that there's some beautiful new pieces coming in the HelenMaryJo collection from Mounir's website, and I'll be able to show you those probably by the end of this week, fingers crossed. So that's it today, just a sort of a little medley of items, and I'll leave you with that. Let's hope the weather improves, because it could be October out there today. It's so miserable, but still smiling. See you really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.